open mode with no variation. All the qualifiers will be in just open mode, so we'll have the start from Link's House or Sanctuary right from the start. And indeed, we do see two people, at least two people. In fact, all four of our runners will be starting at Link's House, and it looks to be like going towards the uncle route that I like to see here at the start.
Oh no, Ravis is a bit of a renegade here. Get an early map check. I saw a crystal at Hera.
I totally missed it. I'm chugging a little bit. That's all right though. Let's see. I saw the red and blue pendants at Eastern Palace and Desert. Great.
Awesome. So what Ravis is doing is a bit of a non-typical strat you'd see in open mode, where you go this south route to Kakariko, and there are bombs that spawn underneath these bushes, I believe 50% of the time. So what you'll see people do is farm this and then go to Kakariko from there. Everyone else just going through Uncle's little chamber here, getting some bombs for the trouble. And the lantern, alright.
Not a bad find early on. That quickly takes off any sort of dangers you might have about doing dark rooms.
It does. It also prevents you from... Oh, hello, hookshot.
I am a big fan of early hookshot. Hookshot movement is really fun, in my opinion. I am a huge fan of just all the bushes and trees and stuff that are just dotted around the light world. You can easily take advantage of all those.
Absolutely. It's also a pretty good weapon in some cases, so finding that early is very welcome.
Yeah, there's a lot of enemies at the start that just kind of outright die to the hookshot. There's no like damage done; it just outright kills them, like the birds and the bees. No, well, I guess so.
There's a sword, so anything that doesn't die to the hookshot now dies to the sword. But I think the hookshot is also really useful in the medieval arm cave, since this simplifies that whole process of killing all five. Alright, well, 20 rupees in the Lost Woods. And a big heart, I believe. I miss it was in Lumberjack Cave.
Sorry, I'm dealing with a couple issues. I apologize. All right, so we're getting into the meat of Kakariko here. We'll be able to get at least like 14 items or so. It's a extremely popular play from the start. We just have to find that one item that's gonna kind of get us started on the seed here. With the lamp, it may very well be the glove. I'm thinking maybe we'll find a glove and then have access to East Death Mountain. There's a huge chunk of stuff over there, so it wouldn't surprise me. Master Sword's pretty nice.
Master Sword is nice, and we also find the flute not far away.
Wow, with the book as well. Jeez. Okay, well, there's a lot of access, in fact. That flute will give us up Death Mountain without having that glove, so that's super nice. So that's East Death Mountain access, but maybe runners might kind of hope for a hammer before heading up there, so we might see a little bit of delay before going up there. I'm not sure. With the flute and the book, we might very well get an early desert check as well. Though, again, that's a little worrisome without having the boots to guarantee you'll be able to get all the stuff there.
Yeah, I do think that holding out for the hammer is not a terrible idea here, just because we do have the lamp for some of these runners, and that would just be, you can clear hair while you're there, and then you get a lot of information while you're up there. Alright, well, we find a lot of money as well, which is always nice.
It's a pretty nice treasure trove of just kind of general movement items in the hookshot and flute from the right start there. Having the book early on means that, and the Master Sword, I suppose, means that the two tablets aren't going to be too far out of your way. I wonder if Ravis is going to go
And he's thinking about it.
Check the pedestal after doing these checks here. I'm not sure about that.
You know,
If he's coming up here to check this, I don't think he's gonna go all the way through. So he'll probably just worry about it later.
I guess you're weighing it against like the lumberjack cave check, since he did take the south route to get here.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And right now, lumberjack item might be a lot more relevant. Well, he's not actually going to check that, but heading here to the desert instead. That nice flute, very quick.
Yeah, Lumberjack Cave is actually kind of a haul for not a guaranteed item, I feel, from that point. So, I mean, I guess it isn't too far, but... Well, no. Oh, he's just checking the ledge there? I guess... Wait, he doesn't have the book. Did he not check... Oh, wait, yeah, he does. That's weird. Whatever.
Well, the ledge does take not a lot of time to check, so no harm in seeing if that's something required. Opting to go for these more dense locations here on the South Shore. This dam. Another big heart. It's nice. And then, of course, there's 5 items in the Old Worm Cave, and another one in Ice Rock Cave, which are very easy to check with the flute again.
Yeah, and with the not the hammer, what the heck? With a weapon at all, really. They become much more attractive. Like if you're doing this mini Moldorm kit with just bombs, it's a little iffy, especially when you only have 3 hearts. Though we're rocking 5 right now, and Master Sword and Sword Beam. So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit easier.
Yeah, that really just was the easiest mini Moldorm Cave. Ooh, silver. Ooh, hammer. Ooh, Kame Samaria.
Oh wow! All right. So that's access to all of Hera, in fact.
Well,
With that being a crystal, we might be going up there pretty soon. Which I believe Seto's doing right now.
seems that way, though. Seto can't get into Hera unless he finds the mirror up here, and Ravis can't completely clear out Hera unless he finds the lamp on Uncle. But he is in a very good spot for that. He also needs the hook shot, now that I realize, because that's in Sanctuary, and he has not been there yet.
Oh wow, yeah. I wonder when he's gonna wrap that in. Though he's coming all the way over here to Eastern Palace area first. Gonna be getting the 3 free items here in the back of Sahasrara. And perhaps going into Eastern, we're not exactly sure. It would be the most convenient time to do so, though it is kind of a time sink for only 2 guaranteed items.
It is. There is one hint in there. Ooh, there's Bombos on the Spectacle Rock. So that's some good information. You know where 2 of our medallions are. One's on there, and then one's in our pocket, so...
Interesting that Seto decided to go check the item rather than just jumping on through. Just because there's a hint tile in there, he's not going to have that hint. So, hope that's not anything too important.
Yeah, and that's something we saw in a few of these qualifiers. People just going straight for the item instead of checking it just because of the hint.
Yep, I'm super on board that train. No reason to go check it if you're going to go in there and grab it anyway.
Yeah, I agree. There's our first glove over here in Paradox Cave, the bottom half of it. There's our Moon Pearl. Alright, we are on our way. That is in a bottle. So we have everything we need for Dark World access out there in the world already. And we have found quite a few of our required items as well. Let's see what the dungeon layout in Dark World actually is before we know what all we need. But yeah, we're looking good so far.
With that glow, we can actually go potentially fight Landmullas, but without the, the boots like we were talking about earlier, I'm not quite sure if anyone's gonna make that gamble to head over there and, check to see if Desert's boot locked. Even though it is gonna be, I don't know, Desert's pretty quick. Even if you do have to fight Landmullas, Desert's pretty quick, but, pendant
Yeah, it's not as tempting just because of that.
As tempting as East Death Mountain.
Nah, not really. I mean, East Death Mountain's like 5 or 6 deserts, right?
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of deserts up there. That's how I like to calculate my dungeons as well. How many deserts they are about.
Yeah, it's the conversion rate. You gotta make sure you're making economic decisions.
I did see
Right?
that Moon Pearl, so the Moon Pearl that gives us our Dark World access. That's pretty cool here. Fireline's gonna head over here and buy bombs. Yes. It's a very little seen shop that's just hanging out over here. It does have 10 bombs for 50 rupees, as normal.
That is a pretty good deal, all things considered.
Graves,
Ether
come on.
in a chest requiring a specialist to unlock. That is very important. That is a
Ooh,
very specific, very important hint.
that is a nice
That is our
hint.
last medallion. And that hint, for anybody who doesn't know, it refers to the purple chest. So we know exactly where Ether is if we need it. Or at least one of the runners does.
Oh, Seto kind of scared me there for a second. He was doing some water walk and got hit. Got knocked in the water there. Wasn't sure if everything was gonna work out the way he wanted it to, but everything looks fine. Yeah, knowing where all the medallions are, hey, that's pretty cool. We're actually pretty close to being able to go into Mire as well, right? And fully clear it, in fact. All we needed are those other gloves.
Yeah, same. Well, the same can't be said of Turtle Rock since we would need some rods for that. But there's our other glove, right there on Filian's screen. It's in the
Oh, wow.
spiral cave. This is looking like a fast one. I say that now, and then it's gonna be slow from here on. But there's Fire Rod. It's a kid. Oh my gosh. We are getting everything we got.
I'm a big fan. And by that, I mean really scared.
Really scared.
You have everything open to you. Oh, geez, where do you go? I guess the answer would be just crystal dungeons so that you can complete, which is, gosh, having all that already, that's gonna be quite a bit we can knock out. We haven't even been into the Dark World yet.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, we don't even know if we're gonna end up needing to find that ice rod, or the flippers even, which
Yeah.
are, I guess, the most outstanding items we have, other than, I guess, the bow and the mirror. Okay, never mind. There's still a decent chunk we're missing.
Ether tablet, just a big 20. Maybe these hints in Hera will be valuable as well. Who knows?
Yeah, 2 hints in Hera and in a pretty quick dungeon. It's kind of hard to pass that up, especially whenever it can be as important as that medallion hint we just got.
Alright, well, the big key to Hera is just in the basement, so that lamp not really required unless there's something down there. Some cash requires the boots, that's not a helpful hint. Still one more hint in Hera, however.
Yeah, there's not too many locations that specifically say the boots, so it'll be really easy to narrow that one down, but they're all fairly fast checks anyway. I mean, it could easily just be the lamp in desert,
Yep.
or I don't know. It's not going to be important anyway.
Yep, we see Roach heading into desert now as well, so we'll figure that out real soon.
Oh, good. I was wondering about this. When I get an early book, a desert is always on my mind. It just happens so rarely that you get the book so early, and then nothing ends up being in desert or on the tablets or anything like that. With the Master Sword, though, it makes me feel like the tablets would be a little more likely, but I mean, that doesn't really matter. We've already checked one of them anyway. There's our Dark World map check there. We see 5-6 crystals at Ice Palace and Turtle Rock, and I saw a red pendant at Swamp. I think our green pendant might have actually been Light World and Eastern Palace. I think think I made a mistake on that one.
Oh, there's our mirror. The other hint in here, of course, was a bogus hint. There's flippers as well. What is going on?
That's pretty nuts. That's...
We are 15 minutes in this seed, Mikon.
I'm so happy to have the means to fully clear Swamp Palace right now. Pendant Swamp Palace.
That's just gotta be your priority, right? Head right in there.
Man, finding both those items right there and being right next to the entrance of Swamp Palace, you know people are going to hop in there. It's going to happen.
Yes, most likely.
And we are going to need to find that ice rod, it seems, with that crystal turtle rock. And speaking of crystals here, finally, and we'll grab our first crystal from the Tower of Hera.
Gonna head up here and realize where this last medallion is hiding. Looks his gloves. Yes, I've got those gloves. I can get that medallion. Looks like Seto was turning in that shovel right away. Unfortunately, I did not see what was on.
He dug up a shield. That's what it was
Shield.
today. Perfectly useful.
Perfectly useful.
The dirtiest dinner plate you've ever seen.
Dirtiest dinner plate.
Reeves is going to be checking out the pedestal here, and... Well, that figures. It's not our ice rod. Dang, that would have been awesome to find.
Would it really have been awesome to find
Oh, it
there?
absolutely, yeah, absolutely would have. It would absolutely would have been like the best place to find that, because what do you need otherwise? The bow? That's, yeah, big deal. Knowing exactly where something is just as well as finding it on the ground, in my opinion.
I guess.
That's
At the
why.
same time,
Go ahead.
I said at the same time, you don't really want to see this turn into an all dungeon seed just because it's there, right? I don't know.
I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. This is all my opinion, that is. I don't feel like if something's on a pedestal, oh no, you're going to spend a little longer finishing the seed. A big deal. You're going to know exactly where something is to actually finish it.
I understand.
Everyone's going to have to do it. That's just me anyway. I don't know. Alright, Roach also getting that nice hint there, which is really good to know considering how close we are to completing just kind of everything else, right?
Yeah. Fire Rod will be quite important since we will be needing that to get into the back half of Skullwoods. And that is a crystal. And I guess their equipment's alright for it. We did find a fairy in a bottle.
Alright, we did get Vamos for Turtle Rock here. Finally, I'm not having the mirror quite yet. Is gonna not be able to go grab the Vamos medallion quite yet, or, you know, go into Turtle Rock immediately, but knowing where that mirror is, it will not be too long until he can actually go get that.
Not long at all. Alright, this is heading back here into the... what would you call this for Skullwoods, do you think? The guest house?
The
main
guest?
house? Mothulus, the guest there, I guess.
You talking about the back half of Skull Woods?
I'm talking about the back half of Skullwoods, Mikon.
I
want to settle this. What part of this dungeon is this?
It's the back.
It's the back. Alright.
I thought there was a little more to this. I guess I thought I misunderstood something.
No. I just wanted to give the terminology down.
Oh, the terminology.
Geography.
I see. I see. It's the back.
It's the back.
It's the not front.
The not front. Alright.
It's much of a greenhouse. Like, I don't know why you're saying
Green.
it's a.
I
There's
said
a
guest
giant.
house, not greenhouse.
You said. I'm pretty sure you said
I
greenhouse.
said guest house. If you heard greenhouse, that might have been my bad. Oh,
No,
that wall master got really close to grabbing Ravis
that
there.
was really close.
There's nothing worse in this game than going to about all the way back here to Skull Woods, dropping out of the hole and getting grabbed right as you fall. That will never happen to you again, but when it happens, it's not a good feeling. Alright, taking a little spill here is Ravis, but we got that fairy, so it's all good. Killian also entering the guest house of Skull Woods, not far behind.
The guest house? Is that what we're calling it now?
We're calling it the guest house, at least right now.
How is it like a guest house? You're like, it's some dude's nose you're burning off. This isn't even a house at all.
It's just the culture, man. It's just the people who live in the woods make it that way.
I guess I don't know Skullwood's culture.
Educate yourself sometime.
I gotta read up on the Skullwoods lore, I really do.
Yeah. Alright, well there is one item left in Skullwoods as Ravis is coming back in for this chest beneath the bridge. As Philion enters the Mothula fight.
Seto is heading into Thieves Town. I believe is our first runner to do so. Crystal Thieves Town, usually a pretty popular early check. It requires only the hammer to get everything out of. Just kind of any weapon other than that to fully clear. So it's always a really popular play, and it doesn't take too long having 4 items. Everyone's going to come in here fairly quick. So if there is anything important in here, I don't think it's going to be missed out for very long.
No, another thing in this version that some people forget is that there is a hint tile right up these stairs. So technically you get even more value worth your time now. The bow held by someone friendly. That is an amazing hint.
All right, so that is a new text hint that was added just the other day. And by the other day, I mean like a day or 2 ago, maybe just 1. Some NPC is going to have the bow. It can be pretty much any NPC, from like the bottle kid, it can be the catfish can have it. Even though I guess the catfish isn't, entirely too friendly. I believe that also includes Sahasrara.
It does, but if the green pendant is Eastern Palace, we know that cannot be the case.
Yes, absolutely. That is correct. But that's still really great information to know.
Does that count to the witch by chance?
I can find out.
Is the witch friendly or is the witch not friendly?
I would call the witch friendly, but she doesn't give you the items, so that's what I'm curious about.
That's true. I know her assistant's very friendly. She will heal you for free, which seems pretty nice to me.
Potion shop is with the witch or requires the mushroom. She's not considered friendly.
Okay, well, I'm glad we figured that out. I guess that's why they can't stand to be in the same room together.
Yeah. Well, knowing where your last... I mean, that's like the go mode item, right?
Well, we need Ice Rod.
Ice Rod, yeah.
And potentially boots in some dark future.
Yeah, I think we saw that in Qualifier yesterday, and that was not so hot for one of our racers, and probably a couple other people as well.
Does not sound very fun to me. Alright, well this has been a very interesting seed so far. Now we have Seto heading into the blind fight.
Yeah. Interesting is a good word for it. That's a lot of stuff we're getting right at the start. We're not even 25 minutes in yet. And and we're missing, I guess, as a community, one item from Go mode. That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
So taking that.
that was a lot of constant damage there right at the end of that. Oh well, the fairy's fine.
Fairies are very useful in this game. I don't know if you know that. Sometimes. Alright, well, of all the items to have just floating out there in the world, Ice Rod's one of the worst ones, just because it can be literally anywhere except Trinex. I guess GT in this case, since, we need that to get into GT. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how far out it will be.
Yeah, Ice Rod is just kind of one of those things. Hopefully we'll be able to find a hint that might lead us in that direction, but I mean...
Well, the hints have already been, amazing so far. I wouldn't count on it, but who knows. You do have the bow narrowed down pretty sizably, just because of where the green pendant is, and if the Fat Fairy counts as a friendly NPC, I don't know. I would assume not, since you're not really getting the item from her. But if that were included, I should actually check that instead of talking about it, right?
As what, someone friendly?
Yeah.
I would assume not. I wouldn't think so.
Alright, well, let's see. We still have plenty of stuff available to us. I mean, I guess that's a consequence of getting a bunch of items right at the start. And where do you think you would go, Mikan, after clearing out Skull Woods and Thieves Town, Tower of Hera? What's your next stop?
Probably Mire. I'm a big fan of going to do crystal dungeons immediately when I'm searching for items, because you have to do crystal dungeons anyway. It just kind of minimizes risk, I suppose you could call it.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel ya. Even Ice Palace right now does not feel terrible. There's a lot of hint tiles in Ice Palace.
Yeah, there are. 3 is kind of a big amount, and when you're searching for something like the ice rod, that hint is going to be super important, because there's like very little limits in where it can actually be. If you're searching for something more broad, like, I don't know, the hammer, there's a lot of stuff that locks hammer, you're going to run into that eventually, but ice rod, no way.
And of course, Ice Rod, Ice Palace. Something similar with these two. Seems likely. Might have some information there. Of course, that doesn't really factor into Rando, but that would be my thought. Some method to the madness. Alright, well, Roach, coming back here to the Mire Shed. Now, we all agree that it is a shed, right?
Mire Shed?
Mire
I
Shed.
would call it that, yeah.
Okay.
That's actually Shed. It's a better name than the Skull Shed.
Skull Shed.
Skull Woods. It's not the back left of Mire.
Back left of Mire. Well, there is a back left in Mire. It's just a room that nobody goes to.
That's true. That stupid fish room. It's a great room. It's just unfortunate no one ever goes in there because it's entirely pointless.
It's a shame, honestly, that the hint tile is not in that room instead of the cutscene room. Because then we get to see it. Maybe. I don't know if it would actually bother. Because Mire's one of those dungeons where it's locked by a lot of things, and around that point you might not actually be checking hint tiles since you're, you're fine. Or you're in go mode or something. Alright, well. Have 3 of our runners just clearing up stuff that the other runners have as well, so you'll see this a lot in these races where one runner is doing something that is already done because they haven't done it.
Yeah, it's a pretty common part in races. I feel. Ooh, that was a nice double Gibdo hit there with that one fire rod shot, and he was able to save a little bit of magic. As Phylan goes into the blind fight here, should make quick work of him. See you later, dude. Didn't see it coming. Seto wants to hit this Gibdo into the spike, but he's not having it. Oh, there we go. That worked out. Yeah, with the Master Sword, those guys take actually a fair number of hits to actually take down. So knocking him into the spike does, I think, Gold Sword class damage. So it's actually pretty significant. You only have to knock him into the spikes twice to immediately defeat him. So it'll make that room a little bit faster if you can manage to do that. Of course, you could just light him up with the fire rod, but then that's one less shot you'll have from Mothula if you're trying to save some magic there.
Yeah, that can be extremely valuable, especially with a weak sword or low hearts, just because it makes it a lot safer.
Alright, Revis grabbed the flippers and mirror there in Hype Cave, so now has access to the annoying choice of, ah crap, do I go into Swamp Palace?
I do not feel many people are going to be able to do that.
Probably not.
When you got this many items and this much stuff you can do, it's like, alright, well, I could go into Swamp Palace, but I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, it's ideal to just completely avoid pen and dungeons, right? And what are the odds that Ice Rod's in Swamp Palace? I mean, there's no way, right?
There's no way that would ever happen in this game. You're
Flip-
crazy.
the
I do.
flippers were- Oh, go ahead.
I said I do think it would be potentially a good idea to dip in there and just check the hint, because that is right there at the start.
Okay, that's actually a pretty good point. Yeah, you don't even need to drain the water to check that hint there. It probably wouldn't be so bad at all to, if you're gonna go over to like the Bombos tablet anyway, or even passing by on your way to the Grove Ledge and the Stump Kid and all that stuff. I still think it might be worth it to head down there just to check that.
I agree with that completely. If that is the Ice Rod location that is so big for you, that I would feel very tempted to check that.
Yeah, knowing where the bow is still pretty good. It might convince some people to route up towards Catfish after checking out their Hype Cave, which I guess is only 2 players right now. Phylan's gonna have to make that choice here pretty soon, though he did get the hint about the bow, so he might be convinced to head up towards Catfish right after this. Is the blacksmith someone friendly? That actually might be pretty nice. He's gonna love this cave.
This is a pretty good cave, all things considered. Alright, Roach taking down Mothula. Getting their second crystal. It's Ravis heading in here to the flooded Swamp Palace, so very interesting. Did not see the hint, unfortunately.
Oh, yep, I tried to catch it on the restream and I didn't see it there either. Guess we'll know. No one will know.
No one will know. Keeping that suspense real.
But Ravis is convinced to go even further into Swamp Palace, so this could be pretty great if that Ice Rod happens to be in here.
Alright, well, someone in chat very helpfully posted a list of what a friendly NPC count says. We've checked quite a lot of these, but many more we have not. I do agree with you that Catfish feels very tempting now, because if you haven't checked Sora, you can just mirror and go there as well. That's 2 friendly NPCs.
Yeah.
Supposedly, I don't really know.
Supposedly.
Kings.
Fish are friendly, didn't you know?
Yeah, they're playing with you when you try to talk to the king.
There's the bow. Our friendly NPC today was the blacksmith.
Alright, mystery solved there. Now we just need that mysterious ice rod.
Yeah, let's get a hint about that. I don't think we've seen the boot hint yet, have we? There's always going to be one hint that pertains to the boots. Or, like, obtaining the boots, rather, not requires the boots. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, I believe you are correct. And we have not seen it. We've seen something that's locked by the boots, which would be cash.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy, these birds, quote unquote dinosaurs, more like, will follow you to the ends of the earth. So
In the
quick kill.
code, in
Yeah?
the code, I believe that the way I understood the stuff I read is that the one of the coordinates that the bird spawns on determines how many passes it makes to attack you, and there's like 2 values for it. It's like once or twice, or unlimited. None of those birds spawn in the once or twice. All of them are unlimited. Of course, the one of the most killer enemies in the game just has to be relentless like that.
Yes. Part of why Link to the Past is such a fun game.
All right,
Is dancing around.
Seto has
Go
grabbed the
ahead.
Bombos medallion, so has he been over here to East Death Mountain yet? I'm sure he has, maybe.
I think so.
Yeah, the
think
Moon
so.
Pro is over here, that's right. So he's probably going to Dark Death Mountain, except he doesn't have the mitts. Oh, but he'll be able to... Did he skip? I'm curious how his routing worked out then.
Yeah.
He's been over to East Death Mountain, but didn't check Spiral Cave? Isn't that where the mitts were?
That was where the one of them is, anyway. And the other one was in the Paradox Cave, I want to say. So, literally right next to each other.
Pretty close. I totally just missed what was on the left side of Swamp Palace, but Ravis just finished it.
We will know it very soon if it was anything worthwhile or not. Next time the pause button is hit.
There's only really one spot we're going to be looking here. I don't think that was the ice rod. Well, I don't know if he's ever going to pause because he has a hookshot equipped. It was just rupees. Okay, well, thank you. Phyllian has actually passed the part in Pod that had the hint here as well. I think I'm like just barely missing things that I should be watching.
Well, it's hard. Just 4 screens, of course.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. I was a bit worried that Seto was going to try and place a bomb with the mirror out. That would have been bad.
Oh no, don't do that.
That will move you, but not in the direction you want. Yeah, Swamp Palace has a lot of money, I can tell you that much.
That's what it seems like so far. Nothing really of worth.
Even more money.
Alright, come on, Argus. Kind of bail us out here, would ya? Nothing yet in Palace of Darkness, but Phyllian has not quite reached the vast majority of the items in the dungeon. There's always so many keys that are required to be up front here.
So, a little unavoidable.
Yeah. Well, we did see the Tempered Sword, though, in Pod. Or, wasn't there a sword in Pod? I thought there was... Maybe I was wrong. Swing your sword for me, Phyllian. Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay, well. If you weren't right before, you're right now.
I was right. Good job, me. That was totally intentional. Okay, got him.
Alright.
Ravis is down here fighting a boss, and I'm up here watching Phylan beat his head against the mini Holosaur mask. Alright, 2 fire rod shots and spin. Very nice cycle there. Has to be a little bit careful here. Only has 2 hearts, and I think that's 1 hit away from death on Argus. I'm not quite certain there.
Oh, and it's the big key.
Yeah, we're going back in.
I mean, if you committed all the way to the boss, there's no reason not to, right?
Yikes, it's a bad fall there from Moldorm. Middle hole. If you're gonna fall to Moldorm, that is not the spot you want to fall.
No, no. Oh, well, you were double right.
It was
Tom.
double right.
Isn't there a sword in Palace of Darkness? No, there were 2.
There are 2 swords in Palace of Darkness. Oh, geez, look at Moldorm. Okay. It's a stressful moment right there. You're banging up against the side of the middle hole. Oh no!
Tough guy. Tough hamburger.
That is the strongest hamburger in the world. I'm not really a huge fan of the charged pokes with the hammer, like charging your sword, because it's just so easy to poke and then get it completely out of whack. Because then you're gonna get the fast phase at the end.
Yeah, it does get a bit tricky, and if you do make that mistake or he just doesn't behave properly, very easy to poke, as you said, and then getting that cycle where he's going crazy just makes it all the more likely you're gonna fall.
Alright, finally, I'm about to head into Helmsford here. Has to do one of the more annoying dark rooms in the game. I hate this room, dude. I really do. Finally does too. He's getting bullied by these guys. Alright,
well,
there we go.
at least it's not in the dark.
Yeah, that's true. That would be really bad. He doesn't even have a medallion. That'll make that easier. Quake doesn't actually kill those guys.
Ether's locked away in a chest, as we found out earlier. Bombos is staying on Strathclyde Rock. Poor Quake. Quake wants to be useful for something.
Meyer, apparently. You can use Meyer to knock the full magic out of the tree in above the Kakariko orb.
Oh, okay.
If you want to use magic to get magic. Seto finally grabs the Titan's Mitts from Spectacle Rock Cave that I think he was really close to, but just didn't check out. That must have been what happened because the Moon Pro was over here.
Yeah.
There's no way he didn't. He only got one and not the other, so it must have been a mistake, or maybe his routing just was strange. I don't know. And I guess Raves is the same way. He doesn't appear to have the mitts either, if I'm just going according to the tracker. Which is kind of weird for me. I don't know why. I guess I could see going up to Hera, like from East Death Mountain, going over to Hera, and after finishing Hera, not going back. But Raves hasn't even done Hera yet, so that's why I'm confused. Oh, he does get the lamp fight. That's good.
It's been there the whole time.
Let's see if finally decides to hop into Meyer immediately. I'd be a big fan of just finishing Meyer right now. There's really no reason not to.
Yeah, I would agree with you there.
Oh,
Might
he
be
wants to desert first. At least the front have a desert.
Or maybe just the ledge item. It's a really easy check.
All right, cool. He'll be our first runner into Misery Mire. Well, since we know we don't need Ether, I guess the hint is still good because the purple chest is actually a little bit of a lengthy thing.
Yeah, that's a not fun location check, though. With the mirror and the fluid, it's not bad.
Yeah, that's true. It really isn't, but it's just kind of going in and out of the dark world. I suppose when they have mirror, it's not that long to check all that, especially after the blacksmiths.
Still, getting one location out of the way that you don't have to check is really nice. It's also why these hint tiles, even if they don't have the location of a required item, if they tell you the location of something you don't need, and it's a really far out of the way location, you can just not do that, and it saves you time that way.
Yeah, it's just as good. Roach checking out his friendly NPCs, taking the blacksmith on a trip to see the fishes. But we do know the blacksmith has the bow, and he'll be well rewarded for his tour. Revis down in Hyrule Castle here is still looking for these Titan's mitts. Must have thought he skipped them out on a really early location here. Might be running out of spots. And I'm just really... I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure...
Oh, there's powder.
Ooh, there's powder. The bat is a friendly NPC, apparently. He curses you with a good item.
It would be hilarious. Well, actually, never mind. I
If
got
he had-
halfway through that sentence.
If he had the bow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the one where you have... That's fine.
What if the hint was talking about the bat? But no, we already got the bow, so it wasn't talking about the bat.
Maybe the bat still has the ice rod. We're not sure.
That would be the twist of the century. There's not a lot of reason to go there anymore either, because we know the purple chest is dud, and we already did blacksmiths. So we going there for the bat alone.
Yeah, we kind of made him kind of far out of the way. I suppose the flight point to 3 is still fairly close. Roach will probably be... No, wait, no, he doesn't have the stuff. Never mind. No mushroom yet to do fake powder either. But the bow will be very nice to have.
But we'll definitely give Roach something to do, and that something will be Palace of Darkness most likely.
There's the other item in Misery Mire, just some arrows there, so straight on to Vitreous. Nothing of importance here.
Yeah, one of the hints we can get in this game is knowing what's fire-locked in Misery Mire. Which won't be that relevant now, I guess, but if any of those other runners happen to come across it before they make their way in, might save them a little bit of time that way. Anyway, we've just come up here to Catfish now. Running out of stuff.
He's gotta be running out of locations. I'm hoping he can, like, forget about it. He can access Hera, so it should push him up there fairly soon, I would hope. Was he just, after getting the Moon Pearl from Paradox Cave, was he just kind of gambling on there not being anything in Spiral Cave, so he just left? Because I guess it's clear he didn't go to Hera then. Oh, he might not have had fire then.
Yeah, I don't think he had fire, so...
Yeah, the lamp was early, and the fire rod was from Sick Kid. Yeah, and I don't know if he had it by then, so maybe he didn't go do Hera and just committing on the gamble that, he shouldn't go up there immediately.
Yeah, and Spiral Cave is kind of one of those weird things. It's sometimes, depending on how you route your Death Mountain, you can end up skipping it with the intention of maybe doing it later. But somebody says he got stuck behind the crystal pegs in Hera, and he had to save and quit. That would make sense.
That would really stink. I'm not sure what item he would have had at that moment. to be able to do that. If he had the fire rod, you can use that. You can use sword beams to do that. I don't think they had Samaria by then. Where was Samaria?
Samaria was not Hype Cave. It was in the mini Moldorm Cave.
Oh, he probably had Samaria by them. Samaria beams totally work for hitting that crystal switch slightly off screen. Ah, well, that's fine. So yeah, that's probably what happened. He dipped into Hera and just left, and was probably planning on doing Spiral Cave after Hera.
Yeah, that seems very likely. And then just unfortunate little scenario. But it does look like Ravis is coming back up to Death Mountain. They also didn't have the mirror at the time, so going back to Spiral Cave to check that would have been quite time consuming. You gotta hookshot across, then climb up, and then go through the Spiral Cave, which is already kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah, at least he's got mirror this time, so it'll be pretty quick to get back up there. And that is where he's going now, thankfully. So he will be getting back on track here very shortly. And he gets a free Vamos out of it. Alright, Seto's turn to hop into Misery Mire, it looks like. While everyone else is just kind of doing what we've seen already. Roach isn't going to find anything in here except for 2 swords. Has one of them already. And a crystal, I suppose.
Well, 2 swords is not a bad constellation prize, just in my opinion.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Especially when they're in a crystal dungeon and you're going to be getting them anyway. Ooh, is this Ice Palace?
I think it might be.
Nope, he's just hugging the pickle. Alright, there we go.
Okay, we're checking the Lake Highway first, then we're gonna go in? Or are we checking Kogo? No, we're not.
Alright, cool. Nope, never mind.
No,
okay. Finally, I'm pleased. You're giving me... What a joker, this guy.
Jeez.
Maybe Ice Rod's in here and I can just go mode Ice Palace. That's what he's thinking.
Well, yeah, that is not a bad thought at all, because checking these 2 is very quick. So, also throw in the bottle into the well here.
I do like how they made it where the fairy just appears and immediately disappears. Like, what's the point of her showing up?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? See you later. She
Did you
barely
drop
has
this?
time. Yeah, she doesn't even ask anymore. She just kind of throws it at you.
Yeah, I knew you dropped this here. I know why you came in this room for. I know why you threw this at me.
Quit polluting my pond, please. Just leave.
Here's your apple juice, Link. Now get it on my face.
Green apple juice. That's from green apples, right?
Yeah, I'm sure that's the logic behind it. That's why everything apple flavored is green. It's because they come from green apples.
Mm-hmm.
They never use red apples. They only use cherries and strawberries.
I knew it. Been living my whole life this way, and I'm glad to have final confirmation.
Well, I'm glad I could solve that for you, Mikon. Alright, well... What now? Let's see where Phaidon is heading.
Back to ice, please. 8's correct, thank you.
Yes. And I actually like this. Normally I don't like Ice Palace, but, you know, B30 changed my opinion. There are 3 hint tiles in here. It's insanity.
Yeah, I haven't been too adverse to Ice Palace in the past, but now I'm definitely not with the free shiny hint tiles in here. No, check it! Firelion!
Oh my gosh.
Get back there. Kill that guy so the door opens, please. Go back. No! You suck. No, he doesn't suck. He's blue.
It's just one of those things. It's very easy, because if you played right up to this point, you have most of these dungeons just on autopilot when you come in here. You know what you gotta do, you know if you need to check stuff or not, and hint tiles, checking those was never part of the equation until now. So
Yeah,
it's very easy to skip them.
It's really easy to get into the autopilot mode. I definitely agree with that. That's why a lot of people were worried about the dropping of B30 when it was, is because there's not much time to get used to, having to change how you play a good number of screens in the game. That suddenly you need to check these tiles, but we've seen some people adapt a lot better than others.
Yes, and to be fair, that is a very easy hint tile to check. We could go through Ice Palace and just clear everything out and check that if we still need to. So,
Oh yeah, after the dungeon's over, if he remembered it by then, he can just hop right back in there and check. But he's also forgetting this one? No, okay.
Ether's a Justified special assault? We knew that! We already got that! That's funny.
So you actually can check that hint tile in your first pass up there, dropping the bomb. You can go up there, check the hint tile, and then on your way back down, drop the bomb, and the skeleton won't land on you. So you can do it in one kind of swift motion up there without having to kind of bomb the guy, without having to bomb the guys first. You can just do that.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
And I guess it's also worth noting now, although it should be obvious to everybody, that you can get duplicate hints,
Yes.
or hints about the same item multiple times. So that's the first time I've actually seen it be the exact same hint.
It's pretty exact, yeah. We did actually, because of the way where the big key was and the two items in Mire, we didn't actually even get near the hints in Mire, so Seto is also skipping it as Phyleon did. So we're not going to get that hint, which is fine, I suppose. We'll see if it's actually fine.
Well, also, it's really hard to sort of dedicate your time, because that is in a very inconvenient location in Mire.
It really is. It's a chest that you're trying to avoid anyway, but to do it regardless just for hint, that's asking a little much.
Yeah, it's basically a consolation prize if you ever have to do that room. Piece of Heartless and Blind's hideout, you do not say.
Wow. Well, gee, if I hadn't already been in Blind's hideout, that would have been a great hint. Except, still no.
We do see that the hint
no.
in Turtle.
Good
He
thing
does have a
Seto-
fairy.
Yeah, good thing he just went out of his way to catch that. Okay, Roach just checked that first tile on Ice Palace, and it was a joke hint, so that's good.
Okay. Raiders to check the first hint in Turtle Rock, and it mentions that there's cache in Mimic Cave, so that's not a great hint, but it does mean we don't have to check Mimic Cave, which is actually kind of relevant right now.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty okay time save.
Yeah, Vitreous, if we can just talk about this for a second, is just one of those bosses that can be very difficult without the bow. With the bow, he's a joke. Without the bow, not as much of a joke.
Oh jeez. Yeah, use that blue potion. Better safe. You don't want to die here. So Phyleon has found the blue cane and half magic here on the right side of Ice Palace. Whew, alright, Vitreous goes down. I have no idea what was in that chest. Yes, I do. It was the ice rod.
Wait, what?
Phyleon just found the ice rod in Ice Palace.
Really?
All three items are on the right side of Ice Palace. Half magic, blue cane, and blue ice rod. So that will put Phyleon in go mode as he knows where Bamos is.
Go mode with Insterix. Boots may come into play, but it's very unlikely. Now, I hate to say I called this beacon, but if you recall, some time ago, I was talking about ice in Ice Palace.
Were you? Is that something you said?
That is something I said.
Alright, I believe you.
Okay.
You know, there was a time when I talked about a sword in Palace of Darkness too.
Yeah, you were, yeah. You were double right, so I guess you win.
Easy, easy. See you later, Cold Stare. Spin into that corner. Gold Sword quickly takes care of him. And now, Phyleon just needs to make a small swoop around the northern part of Death Mountain here. Grab that Bombus Medallion before running over to Turtle Rock, and that'll be about it. I could go back in there to check that hint tile, but no thanks. Uh-oh. Okay, he's fine.
That was a very nice pattern they lined up in.
Yeah, it looked really scary at first.
I mean, I guess you can just float right back to the same spot, but you would prefer not to.
Right, Roach is about to hit his go mode as well. That'll be really nice. Though he still has a Misery Mire to go through after this.
I won't have to worry about clearing out the items there at least, so that's a nice thing.
I'm kind of glad the half magic is where it was. It's right before people would usually go back down to check where the ice rod is, so I don't think many people are going to be missing out on that one.
It's also really convenient to find that in Ice Palace anyway.
Yeah, you get a free full magic refill. If you don't already have Bombos by now, you'll definitely have enough magic after that. If you run into any cold stare problems, that is.
Alright, I'm curious if Pylon will check the first tent here, just in case, on the like very small % chance that
It's the boot hint and you need it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's possible for sure.
I think I would eat that 1 to 2 seconds just for that.
Yeah, the great thing about most hint tiles is that they're on the way. They're very minor detours, like maybe 10 seconds at most, which is, I mean, it's 10 seconds, of course, but I mean, we've already seen the benefit of, knowing where the bow was in this specific seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's checking it.
Some cash room cave, alright.
Now, I think there are 3 hint tiles we ended up not seeing, and one of them has to have the boot hint. We didn't see the one in Aghanim's Tower, of course. We didn't see the one in Mire, and we didn't see the one in the southeastern part of Darkhold, which is probably probably gonna be the rarest one to actually see from any race.
Yeah, that one does have a few fringe cases where you could do it, but it is not likely that you will see that one anytime soon, I would say.
Alright, Roach grabs the Ice Palace Crystal. I can only imagine it's gonna be over to Mire right now. Just going right through all the rest of the dungeons. Phylon misses the little hook there. I can't believe you, dude. No, I miss it all the time too, it's fine. That hook that he does to avoid those rollers, though, is something I have not practiced at all. I'm sure it's easy once you actually practice it, but it's just something I can't remember which direction to do on a moment's notice. There's the bow for Seto.
Nice bow miss today.
Does see with the purple chest and remembers the hint he received. No thanks.
No thank you, I do not need ether today. That can stay there.
Okay, have we seen the magic bat yet?
I
Did someone
don't
actually
think
do
so.
this? Well, for good reason.
Big 20. To be fair, Seto not with a lot of money right now. It's more valuable when you have no money, I guess, but still pretty
Right.
worthless.
Where'd all of his money go? Surely he didn't spend it all on something. Maybe he just didn't find the 300 drops that other people did.
I think he spent most of it on blue potions become,
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
which is a perfectly valid use of your money.
Yeah, it really
So,
is. You do what you gotta do to finish. Such as Ravis checking his map there to make sure he wasn't in his Mire, and he indeed is. Catches a fairy right before heading over to Vitreous. It's not had the bow quite yet, so we'll see if that fairy actually does come into play.
Seto almost hitting quitting without 50, but Wise picks it up, does need the money to get into Palace of Darkness, so
Ooh, good point, yeah. for getting that bow. That would be a shame if he went all the way over there and can't get in. He
Yeah,
does need a couple
that's-
more rupees though. Do need 110 to actually get through there. That's
Grabbing
gotta be
purple
right.
chest.
Maybe he didn't get the hint.
It is possible. Oh, right. I think Seto was one that skipped it. Because I believe that hint was in Spectacle Rock, and I don't think he actually. I think he checked the item and skipped it. And then the other
Oh.
one was in Ice Palace, which he hasn't been into yet.
We see Rivas there. Did use the blue potion to get a little bit of safety here. Using the NMG strats of dipping onto the slime and then going in. Ooh, getting a little dangerous here though.
Beatrice is a hard boss up though.
Pretty difficult, yeah. With the blue mail, I believe this is actually one hit from death, so he's gonna have to be really careful here.
Gosh, I wouldn't even play with the hammer. I would just.
Actually, blue mail might take 2 hits of damage. It'd be nice to find out, though I don't want you to get hit
No.
to find out. Don't get hit.
Don't find out. Do not leave us to figure that out for ourselves. And Ravis does that.
Finally is on Laser Ridge, finds the Sanctuary Heart at a great moment, right when he was pretty low on health. And of course, the key was in the first chest.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about the boots being in here, I guess, if that comes up.
Yeah, that's true. He's pretty much everything he could possibly want other than that.
Pretty much.
We got our silvers, we have our golden sword. I know some people don't like the golden sword, but it's okay.
It's a good sword.
It's pretty shiny, that's for sure. It probably sells a lot more than the tempered sword.
You would think so. Now, I know that gold as a metal is actually pretty soft and not good for weapons, but this is Hyrule. The rules are different.
That's true. The high rules are different.
Yeah. Gold sword, of course, can one cycle these heads as well. Don't look down on the gold sword.
You know, I'd say maybe we try and ask Kajabas the boots. He does have those like 4 feet, so certainly we could make some boots out of those Trinex leather or something. I don't even know if he makes leather.
Would it be leather? He looks like stone to me.
Yeah, he also loses his feet when he goes into snake mode, so I would assume he loses his feet. I mean, maybe we just don't see them.
His feet blow up. Well, maybe his feet are actually underneath them. That's how he gets around so fast.
Yeah,
He's
that
got
little
4 feet.
that little tick 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 noise that happens whenever he's moving around. That's actually his feet hitting the ground.
It's like the Flintstones.
Just picturing
Yeah.
Trinex locked outside of his house. Ganon!
Only it's 3 times as loud because he has 3 heads.
Ganon's like, no, go find the 7 crystals, then you can go home. Alright, Roach is heading up to Turtle Rock to grab his last crystal here, as Phylan is in Ganon's tower. Gonna be hunting here for the big key. Gets 2 small keys out of the first room here. It's not so bad. I gotta be continuing on the right side to see if the 4 chests over here do have the big key. Meanwhile, Seto is going to go cash in that bow on Palace of Darkness over here. And then I can hope just go in Ice Palace immediately after that to find the rest of the stuff he needs. Ravis is still on the hunt for the Ice Rod. Checking a little bit more overworld here. I would imagine going over to Palace of Darkness pretty soon. Gonna be trailing just a little bit behind Seto if he does so soon.
Now, if there's one location in this GT where you don't want this big key, you don't care where it is otherwise.
Yeah, I think we'll be seeing that pretty soon.
You know what? I'm fine with it being there. I'm actually fine with that.
Yeah?
As long as the boots are in here too.
Yeah, that's fine. As they were in the race yesterday, we saw that was actually the case. You had to enter GT and you saw the torch on the right side. However, or I'm sorry, you saw the key on the left side. However, there was also a hint that said the boots are locked behind the hammer. So it was, as long as you know how the hint system works, it was fairly easy to deduce that, oh, it's probably on the left side of GT, and they absolutely were.
No such worries today. We did see the torches big 20. So I guess that would be the hint that we got about the boots locked some cash. It did end up being the GT big torch. In any case, we do find the big key. Heading upstairs now. Looking like it's gonna be a pretty good time.
Yeah, considering how open the siege started, you would think that, oh, well, there's so many wrong decisions to make here, I can go anywhere. But everything just kind of fell into place in kind of the easy early checks, right? We had 2 major items in Hype Cave, which is, 5 items there. No one's gonna skip on that. Probably the item most out of the way was, I guess, the mitts is what it seemed like for these 4 racers.
Yeah. Even though it was almost directly next to the other glove.
Yeah.
Just ended up bringing it out that way.
Yeah, the swords were on the way. The ice rod was on the way if you just kept completing crystals. You knew where you could whittle down where the bow was very quickly, I think. Bombos was in plain sight. Quake was right at the start of the game.
Quake was in fact in our house.
The book was pointless. That was nice.
Yeah, that was a nice red herring there.
Though thankfully Desert doesn't take too long to go in and out of the check. Alright, here goes Landmole 2 for filing. Let's see if we can get the 3-shot ice rod. No, this isn't the ice rod. This is the silver arrows.
The
They're
silver
similar.
arrows. No, we're just gonna fire the ice rod. We
The
don't
ice
need it anymore.
arrows.
Somehow we have 3 of them now.
I don't think it's the first time I've actually made that distinction between silver arrows and the ice rod. I don't know what it is, dude. It's just something.
They're both shiny and they both have little crystal effects, I guess.
Yeah, that must be it. That's probably exactly what it is.
Good arrow count though, 15. This is something that didn't really come up the seed, but it is something that since the arrow and bomb upgrades were removed, you have a lot less of like a safety just over naturally over the course of the run for arrows, which can come into play during Gan fight if you have silver arrows.
Ooh, Fileon's gonna barely make this. He's not gonna be able to, I don't think he's gonna be able to go quick up the stairs. He's gonna have to wait for the door chime to play before going up if he wants to be super safe. Okay,
Ooh.
well, that was good.
That's one thing. The GTD spawn is something you never want to see, ever. You don't want it to happen to you. You also don't want to see it.
No reason to check these spots. There's very little time saved to be had by anything that could be inside of them. Even if it's just the boots, that's like no time at all for you to actually make any use of them. What's going on? Why was the crystal switch hit this way? Did he hit that somehow?
I don't know. That's weird. Yeah, about the only useful item in the pool at this point is the boots or the red mail. Oop.
Yeah, I suppose red mail would be pretty okay, but I don't think it's worth going for.
Yeah, it's not really worth the time to check it.
Might check the Moldorm 2 chest just to see if the boots are there to have a laugh, but I don't think it'd be worth it at all. Maybe it would make getting through the Helmasaur ice room at the end fast.
Yeah, the boots are actually really good for that room. So I don't know. We'll see. Nope.
Nope, doesn't care.
Not interested.
So we're just gonna use the hook shot to stun all these guys as we waddle through the ice on these conveyor belts. This room is actually a little weird without the boots. But I think if you, as long as you can like hold straight up right there, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think so. It's very easy for that room to go wrong, though, if you don't do that. You can get trapped underneath the bumper, like next to some spikes.
If you go flying around, the spikes still do a full heart of damage regardless of your armor, so it can still actually rack up pretty significantly. Did Phyllian just ram Aghanim? Yeah, he totally did.
One more? One more? There we go.
Hey, too bad. Looks like some really butts patterns, but it seemed to work out pretty well.
Yeah, still gets the 2-2-2. Now we head on to the Ganon fight. Gold Sword's actually really good for Ganon fight too. It's not really necessarily any better than Tempered Sword if you can use Tempered Sword well, but Gold Sword does have the benefit of just being able to whack Ganon over and over without really thinking too much, and still getting really good times in the patterns.
You know, I know this is the method for the second phase here, where people stand inside the fire ring and just dash to hit Ganon, because doing the little dash attack doesn't knock you back. I guess that doesn't work without the boots.
No, not really. Unless
So-
there's some way to dash the boots that I'm not aware of.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure people would have known by now if there was. So I think that if somehow someone was still on tempered, it might make for a slightly different fight, depending on where Ganon warps. You might not be able to get the easy 12 slashes you would need with the tempered sword. But of course that doesn't really matter, because everyone on the restream right here has the gold sword.
Thank you, Mikan. Just saying there's Sword Nice or Pass of Darkness.
There were two. Ooh, that was a little scary. I always get nervous going down to like the bottom row of the thing there.
Oh yeah.
Alright, well, finally it doesn't get any fancy double hits in, but oh gosh, just barely misses that shot, and then there we go. Yes, that was
need-
great play-by-play.
You don't need anything fancy. A little low on magic, but yeah. So that'll be Thyleon. Yes, okay, Thyleon does go through the door. It will be our first runner on our restream to finish. Not sure where they're placing it is in the actual qualifier, but GG to them as well.
In the actual qualifier, Phyllian has finished 5th place.
Okay.
The
Good.
four players preceding him were Andy in first,
Of course.
Zero Rush, Error, and Paraduck were the 4 players in front of Phyllian, who has finished 5th place and first on our restream. Congratulations, Phyllian.
See if we can get Thyleon in here for a interview.
Yo, Phyllian, what is up, my dude? Congratulations.
Thank you very much. That was a wild ride.
You got like hoarded with stuff right at the start, and then it kind of died down, but nothing seemed particularly bad.
Yeah, there was, a lot of stuff going on, and then everything was open, and I was running around terrified for a long time. And that terror didn't stop until I saw that Big Key wasn't on the torch in Ganon's tower.
Yeah, we never ended up seeing what hint led to the boots, because there's supposedly always a boots hint. So there were 3 hints, tiles we didn't actually see, so we actually have no idea where the boots are.
My pet theory is that anytime you don't see the boots hint, it's in what we used to call the Dev Cave, so Dark World
Yes.
Ice Cave area.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking. It was either there or Aghanim's tower, or I'm sorry, yeah, Aghanim's tower we didn't see. And then
Oh yeah, this one wasn't an Agaseed.
yeah,
Surprisingly.
and then
It was
the layout of the items in Mire, no one actually got near that tile either.
Yeah, oops. I almost went back for it, and then I said, this is not worth it.
No, it definitely was not worth it. We have no idea what was on it, but it was probably not worth it.
Interesting thing to note as well was that double ether hint. Not sure we saw both of those, but the ether location was mentioned twice.
Yeah, I think that means it shows up in step 1 and step 3 or something of the hint giving algorithm. But it's always funny when you see that happen. I think that happened in Qual 3 as well.
So, I know you said you were kind of worried about the big key being on the torch, but was there any other point? Because I feel like the hardest item to find was the ice rod, but it was still kind of in the way, right? In Crystal Ice Palace, so you're gonna find it anyway.
Look, some days Crystal Ice Palace just has everything on the right side, and I'm pretty sure if I had my webcam on, you'd actually see a Pogjam face after that sequence of items I picked up.
It was pretty good. Burna, Half Magic, and Ice Rod all sequentially there.
I mean, I would not be surprised if a bunch of people missed Burna and Half Magic entirely, because maybe what you should have done here was just skip going up the stairs and check that one chest first.
Yeah, kind of how people sometimes will check the big chest in Turtle Rock before Mimic Cave.
Fortunately, we didn't have to do Mimic Cave today.
Yeah, that's right. I know you were in go mode, but you ended up checking that Turtle Rock hint anyway. I guess just to see if it was the boots hint, if you needed the boots.
100%.
Yes. Yes, we both were talking about that and came to the same conclusion that we would check that just in case.
I heard you guys talking a lot about my execution going up the tower, and any odd speculation you had was well founded. I can tell you what happened in the room right before Moldorm 2, which was I felt so bad about stuff leaving the Switchblade room on the second floor that I hit the switch just to keep the Switchblades out of my way, which gets you out of that room really nicely and then makes it super hard to power the anti-fairy at the top of the tower.
I was thinking about it. I was like, that is the last switch before that room. Is way down there at the bottom of the tower. There's nowhere else that could have possibly happened.
This is not a recommended strategy, but I found myself kind of under-executing for a lot of this run. I was very thankful we had all of the gear we did, because I was not really fighting as well as I normally should be. And I was really thankful for the grace, including like Sankheart on Laser Bridge. That was nice timing.
That was
That was
pretty
very
nice timing,
timely.
yeah. If it wasn't nice time, we were hoping that that heart piece would have filled you up, but no, that wasn't doing it. Oh, Roach just getting through here. Watch out, they're coming.
But yeah, that was pretty good seed overall. That's the fastest I've ever done a rando seed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the sheer number of everything at the beginning, and as we were talking about the ice rod, the only really other outstanding item was the bow, but we had a hint for that, so it really didn't seem that bad.
Yeah, especially because one of the friendly people that can give you the bow couldn't give you the bow because it's Sahasrahla and bow was blocking him.
Yes, that's true.
So that really nicely narrowed the options. And
Yeah, we saw some people route in Catfish to Zora because, as grumpy as those are, they are also considered friendly NPCs. I think one of the players took the blacksmith all the way to both fishes before returning to the blacksmith to get the bow, which is perfectly reasonable considering.
yeah, I very nearly did that.
You also learned that the witch is not a friendly NPC.
She's
So-
not. Or maybe the witch is friendly, but her assistant isn't.
No, the assistant's very friendly. She
Well,
will
she-
heal you.
Yeah, but she's the one that has the item right next to her.
I don't know.
Details.
Details. Alright, Roach. Starting up his cannon fight now. Just my favorite strategy with the gold sword.
Go
Just,
nuts.
yeah.
Yeah, with the sheer amount of firepower we have, I don't think there's going to be too many issues here. I'm pretty sure Roach has a safety, I think we had 3 bottles, and I've seen some potion buys and some fairy catches, though I'm not sure if Roach specifically had done them. Oh no, Seto is. I don't wanna. Well, let's focus on Ganon here for now. I guess it's just Ganon. What could possibly go wrong with Ganon?
Nothing. This fight is known for its safety and consistency.
Does get the torch push, so he's gonna have to worry about that, I guess.
I mean, if you can get it, you might as well. It's just another thing that can save you later on.
Is this just enough distance to get 2 shots in?
I think.
Oh, it is. Wonderful.
I think if it's on the torch, yeah. Might be wrong about that. Either way, Coach. Coach?
Goach. Go
Roach.
Roach.
Saying Ganon and Roach at the same time, it's Coach. Roach finishing. Yes, as our second restreamed runner. GG to them.
Roach finishing 21st place overall. Out of a race of, I think it was 65 people?
65, yes, I believe so.
Yeah, congratulations. We'll see if we can get him in here. So Seto, I believe, is scared of Ice Palace. That's the only conclusion I can come to, because he's checking a lot of stuff before hopping into Crystal Ice Palace, which is not something you want to do. I see some new players do this. I don't know if Seto is a new player, but I do see some new players do this, that they'll avoid going into dungeons just in case they can go mode them later, and I can't recommend that at all.
Yeah, it's worse in this version just because Ice Palace has more value with the hints. It has so many hint tiles inside.
Yeah, Ravis and Seto were actually neck and neck. Their Helmstor fights were at the same time, and I believe they might have been holding up their crystals at the same time as well. But Ravis had jumped into Ice Palace almost immediately after, and now he's got a significant leg up on Seto.
So Ravis is in go mode now, but grabs the small king. I was going to say it might be checking these chests just to be thorough. Maybe find the boots if they're worried about that, but just find the small key.
All right. Well, thanks for on. You can hang out if you want to, but we are going to pull Roach in here in just a moment.
All right. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you all later on.
Yeah, take care. Nice placing finish, by the way. 5th is
GG's,
not
man.
nothing to sneeze at.
Thank you.
Yo, welcome, Roach. Congratulations on the finish.
Thank you, thank you. That was a pretty open free seed to a degree.
That was probably the freest open seed I've seen, actually.
No, when I was like in a 1 hour go mode, like about to finish my 5th crystal dungeon, I'm like, all right, and it's like, I'm gonna be like a sub 120 GT entrance. See Andy finish 109. I'm like, I'm not doing as good as I thought.
Yeah, you had a little... Did you have like a mishap happen up in Hera?
I don't think that was Roach.
No, that was
Alright,
not me. No.
Oh, okay, never
I was like,
mind, I'm
I
sorry.
didn't really have anything happen up there. Overall, it was a fairly clean seed for me. No real major mistakes. Now, did
Yeah.
anyone ever find the boots?
Not that we've seen. We haven't seen the boots, nor have we seen the hint that leads to the boots.
We did learn that the dongos don't like smoke, though.
We did. But yeah, the only 2 items that I would consider not free in this seed, like in a commonly checked spot, would probably be the bow, which we had a hint for, and the ice rod, which was in a crystal dungeon. So there really wasn't too much to go out of your way for, right? That's how I
No,
feel.
and there was a hint in the hint was in Thieves Town, I believe, telling you about the bow.
Was it Thieves Town or was it?
I remember one of the hints right before I was about to do those checks.
Yes.
I think it was Thieves Town, yeah.
That
Was bows with a friendly person.
That's a pretty good narrower downer.
The guy in Hype Cave, Zora, and Smiths, I believe, and that's really.
It's actually a lot, apparently.
Yeah, there's a bunch of NPCs like Sahasrara. It could be, well, not in this seed specifically because of the pendant location, but like the magic bat. Almost any NPC rather couldn't give it to you, but it's still pretty significant that you can narrow it down that much.
Hey, it told me I was on Overworld, so I was just gonna keep searching for it till I found it on NPCs.
Yeah.
Though I did take that early book bait into Desert Palace in the beginning.
I don't think you were the only one, so it's definitely, yeah, that book ended up being like completely useless. It figures, doesn't it? Get an early book and there's nothing there. Was there anything you were like particularly worried about? I know some people are probably worried about like the GT big key being on the torch, being bootless and all.
That definitely came to my mind.
Yeah.
It's like, but you just can't keep searching. You just got to go.
At that point, if you don't have the boots, you just have to figure they have to be in GT, or else this is really bad for me.
Oh yeah, I was really afraid of that when I was in TR, but I said you just got to keep pushing forward. As soon as I saw it wasn't there, I'm like, thank God.
It's just one of those things that will always weigh in your mind in these randos. The GT big key with no boots, and you have no idea what the boots are. Though thankfully in V30 it's going to be at least slightly less uncommon, I guess, since the boots are a guaranteed hint. Not that we saw it, the seed. But the hints in this seed were actually very, very helpful in general, I would say. Finding out the location of ether and such.
I believe Mirror and Flippers were both in Hype Cave, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely was a bait to try and go into Swamp Palace there.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it really was.
I can definitely say at least half the field falling for that bait. I was just like, no, let's not do it. We just got to go.
I wonder if I would have. I was just trying to think. I don't know if I would have, considering how many other items we already have.
I mean, at that point, I was only I knew where Bombos was, obviously. I was only looking for the ice rod, so I'm like, I'm just gonna clear out the rest of the crystal dungeons I have, go to Turtle Rock, pray that I find it up there, and if not, then I'll start searching. That was my mindset, to not go for the bait.
Well, I'll have you know, you missed out on a whole bunch of money. Do you regret your decision at all?
If it was real life money, a little bit, but rubies, I got plenty of those.
Alright.
Alright, and Seto will hit go mode with that ice rod right there. Wonderful. Did get the half magic as well. Ray, however, it seems did not get the half magic, so I have to be a little more conservative. Conservative? Yes. About his magic usage on Trinex coming up. Though with the golden sword, I don't think it'll be any issue.
Yeah, that's another thing with how that ice palace was laid out with the items being in that one spot, and most people probably needing ice rod for their go mode, is that it would be so easy to miss out on that half magic.
Yeah, it really would have been, because yeah, it's not uncommon, I feel, to check that chest first, right, in that sequence of 3 there, if you're only one item away.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a pendant dungeon I was dipping it, I would have checked it first. But let's say with one item go mode, like the odds of it being that specific item is super low. Let me just go through here. I gotta pass past that chest anyway instead of turning around to get it now.
Mm-hmm.
Which, worked out in my favor, but didn't. Cost me an extra minute or so. But you can never complain with finding half magic.
Yeah, the half magic safety is pretty nice. Speaking of safety here, Ray's not looking too hot on health. Has a blue potion I saw, so should actually still be fine, but taking it a little safe here, wants to save that potion for Ganon's Tower if he can.
Yeah, hookshot, very useful here for saving hearts, and there's a little restock over here that you can use.
Ooh, is using the trick that if you hookshot a heart, you have a chance of getting 2 hearts instead of 1.
That is your favorite trick in this game, I feel.
It's pretty useful whenever I'm actually bad enough to need it.
I actually
Not to say that.
I honestly did not know about that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know if there's like a specific way to make it consistent or not, but it does exist.
And it didn't come up today, but I actually just found out about the sword beam glitch on Cold Stare just 2 days ago.
Oh yeah, that can be pretty helpful if you're not on full magic, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
don't
we
have
were doing.
bombos.
I was doing a co-op run, and my partner told me that. I'm like, oh, my god, it was a lifesaver.
Alright, Ravis on the Trinex here, gonna be doing a nice 3 slash to take care of a head there. Oh no, it didn't switch to the fire rod, so you can't pause whenever a head's blowing up, you gotta wait for it to actually explode, so get some ice there, but it should still be fine.
Pause menu in this game does not like it when things are exploding, so.
I don't think a bump will take Ravis out with the blue mail. He should still be okay.
Well, we're not
There
gonna
we go.
find out.
Yeah, very nice second phase.
Keep mentioning this when Ravis is in like a precarious situation. Alright,
Yeah.
well, go ahead.
Yeah, when things are hitting you for like 2 or 3 hearts, 11 hearts doesn't seem like all that much anymore.
No, not really.
Alright, Ravis now running over to Gan's tower. Well, not running, because we don't know where the boots are.
Very moderate
Taking-
pace, Sonic.
Yeah. Gotta go at a reasonable speed. Well, Roach, you're welcome to hang around if you want to as we watch the finishing races here, but congratulations on your finish. What number race is this for you?
This is my third.
Okay, so you've got at least 2 more to go through.
Yeah, I was DQ'd on my first race due to stupidity on my own end.
Oh no, was it like just
Now,
3?
I didn't local record. I cut my stream too early, so it didn't show the finishing of the race.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Because I wasn't sure how the
that's-
delay worked back then.
I see, I gotcha.
I had about same place, about same, time behind the top 3 averages of this race. So I'm happy with how this race and last race went. So I'm feeling good so far.
Yeah. Well, as long as that unfortunate first race, it was like...
Oh, yeah, it was
that'll be
terrible.
like your
It
that'll
was-
be your dropped...
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It was a horrible race anyway. I was like 25 minutes behind the top 3 average.
It's fine, whatever.
So exactly when it's like, they told me I got DQ'd from it. I'm like,
Alright.
I was hoping it was gonna be my worst anyway, so not really a loss. No, I'm really trying to fight hard. Been practicing a lot to try and make it on the bracket stage this time. Last 2 fall tournaments, I fell just short.
Oh,
Just short. I lost in the win-in bracket. It was like a tiebreaker type match because I didn't check bumper K for Fire Rod. And in the last fall tournament, I was 4-1 in the qualifiers and lost the 2 in a row at the end.
oh no.
So it's that I felt just a hair short both times.
Well, maybe
Well,
this is your time. Maybe this
yeah.
is the one. I feel for you.
I've been working hard at it, doing some NMG to work on it and forcing myself to do some inverted mode to get used to doing things with less equipment.
Inverted mode is gonna be such a killer. I could see some people playing it, like requesting to play it in the group stages just to have the advantage over the other person who may not be as comfortable with that brutal early game that's possible there.
It is a lot of fun though. It makes routing very interesting.
Yeah, I imagine. The amount of mirror shenanigans that are going on there is still kind of beyond me.
And the fact that mids are not required about 99% of seats. The only time it's ever required, I believe, is if hookshot ends up on Light World East Death Mountain.
I would definitely need to play that a little more to get used to all the small intricacies with the item placement there. Death Mountain, especially.
But anyway, yeah, thanks for commentating. Our trackers, free streamers, and all that. Since there was, 3 races or 3 restreams happening for this race.
Yeah, we had 3 today. It's been quite the haul.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna just go grab some food and go back and rewatch this just to see what occurred.
All right. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, take care.
Thank you.
Alright, we have Ravis heading up past the cannonball room into what is known as the gauntlet. Gets a nice full magic drop right there. That'll top him off before going into the more annoying rooms, such as this one. Go nuts with the magic. I love it. He must have a blue potion, at least, or another one even, or like 2 to not worry about magic like this.
Yes, potentially. So this particular set of rooms is called the Gauntlet. Bringing back the topic of Dark World. What's the word? I'm thinking of construction.
Yeah, this is the dark greenhouse.
The dark greenhouse. But then why is there so much ice?
It's not very good.
Not very good. And then there's the desert here. Who's maintaining this greenhouse? It's awful.
There's a lot of climates, okay? Some plants only grow in specific climates.
Do land mollusks count as a plant? They are green.
I would think so. Look how they sprout out of the ground.
I guess so. Yeah. Well, they're gone now.
So with the removal of the upgrades, we were talking earlier how the arrow management actually gets pretty important, which is probably even more so if you don't find silver arrows and like have to do ice armos. That's a lot of arrows you just used before going up to Ganon.
Yes.
I guess if you don't have silvers, then you don't have to really worry about your arrow count for Ganon, but it's still something to keep in mind. There are a good number of arrow pots on the way up here, but after a certain point, they just after Lamolo 2, that might be the last one. Actually, there's a 5 arrow pot right after Lamolo 2, and that might be the last arrow pot. I'm trying to think here.
It might be. I'm not sure if there's. Is there one along the way? I can't say I grab it enough to really remember it if there is.
Right. I don't quite remember, but I'm pretty sure that's almost maybe right.
Well, I will trust you, Mikan.
I know the bottom left of the 2-chest mini Helmstor room is a bomb. I'm not sure about the bottom right though. I think the room with the 1 chest before Moldorm 2 is a heart and magic. Well, I guess there's a lot of pots in there. Yeah, either way, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Seto taking down Trinex as Ravis takes down Moldorm 2. Seto might be entering GT as Ravis flies out of it. We'll probably actually get there a little bit sooner than that, but the end is in sight for both of these guys.
Revis kind of moved to the right diagonally on that ice part, and I was thinking, uh-oh, he's gonna get knocked into stuff, but quick hook shot fixed that.
Hookshot is very useful there as well.
It's one of my favorite items in this game. It's just so useful so many places.
It is very all-purpose. It's used for mobility. Sometimes it's offensive. Sometimes it's defensive. It's a good item.
Man, there's some crazy Aghanim 2 angles going on here.
Those patterns were not very nice, but Ravis gets through it with little difficulty. Nope. Flying in just a little bit after Seto heads inside. Be interested to see if Ravis also uses the go crazy strategy here with the gold sword.
something happened to Aga's shot to make it disappear? If Aghanim shoots, if he gets knocked back before he fires, his shot can actually hit the top wall. I'm not sure if that's specifically what happened, but I know that's something that can happen. So if Aghanim is above you and you knock him higher, like up against the top wall,
Yeah.
his shot will interfere with the wall and just knock him out.
Yeah, that actually happens with a few enemies and things in this game, like Cold Stare, the ice block. If it hits the top wall, will just
Oh
not.
my god. My last cold stare fight, I had to use that, and it was so helpful to know that, yeah, the ice things still fall. I don't know if they damage you, but they definitely don't explode,
Right.
which is amazing.
And if you somehow manage to get blind in the top wall, any red bullets that he would shoot do not do anything. That's very, very unlikely. Right, Ravis.
One arrow away. Oh, very nice timing right there. Would get a double right there if he needed one. He only needs the single shot left. So that will do it for Ravis. Coming in. Looking at the thing. Da-da-da. Ravis finished in 41st place out of our 65 racers today. Congratulations to him for sticking it out. I'm gonna drag him in right now. Yo, Ravis, congrats on your finish.
Thanks.
You don't sound too happy about it.
No. This was my second race. In the first race, I did great, and I just forgot to switch the switch the switch in Swamp, and turns out to be bombos on that one chest which I left. And this time, the stupid Hera frame drops because the fire, and coming back directly, let me fall down and save and quit, and looking for the mids for I don't know forever.
Okay, yeah, so that's what happened. You didn't get back to Sprite okay because you were planning on going back there after Hera.
Exactly, and when I was like that, I thought, okay, I'm gonna do Hera directly when I have the mids anyway. Well, that's a bad idea if the mids are up there.
Yeah, I definitely see what you're going for there. It's just really unfortunate the way it planned out, or the way
I
it
mean,
happened.
luckily we got the mirror. Imagine the mirror would have been in Hera or something. That would be awful to go around once more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then I was like, okay, I have to gamble somewhere for some more stuff. So I'm gonna go into Swamp. Okay, that's not it. Well, guess I'm gonna go into Eastern later. Well, that's not it as well. Okay, I think I'm having my bet for my worst race this time. So, yeah, next seed is gonna come soon.
Yeah, it's definitely a pretty specific set of things that can like hit that switch in Hera if you happen to be above it. I know the fire rod will. I don't know if you had the fire rod at that point.
I didn't.
Okay,
I didn't.
I think Samaria blasts will. I'm not quite certain. I think sword beams will as well, but like bombs and boomerangs won't do that.
Yeah, I think you're right with the ones you say. At least not the red meringue, which I totally saw. Yeah, it was unfortunate. I mean, it happens to me now twice, and this is like unfortunate, but you know, everybody has these seeds, and gotta work on my execution, which was not too bad at all. I would have saved a lot of time if I had the mids earlier. But
Yeah.
you know, as it turns out, it didn't work out.
At least your routing was correct that you wanted to go over there and you know get the mitts out of Spiral Cave. It just didn't work out with the whole switch thing.
I mean, if I get the mids there, obviously I'm checking East Death Mountain, Dark East Death Mountain. I can't get into Turtle Rock, which I did before, because I was thinking, okay, maybe with Bombus, maybe the ice rod is in here, and a lot of people could have not dipped it earlier. I died, and I was like, okay, my own execution is telling me not to go further in here. I'm not gonna do it. So let's get out. And I would have gotten the bow way earlier. I was not thinking about the smith actually. I was always thinking about the big fairy, which just have chests. But I played the vanilla game last night, and just took silvers for fun. So it was like, okay, this has to be the friendly person, and I didn't remember. Yeah, Smith can be one of the friendly persons as well.
Yeah, there's actually quite a list of friendly people in this game, as we learned.
Yeah, as long as an NPC gives you an item, I think regardless of like how they manage to give you the item, that's considered a friendly NPC.
It's just, I think it's about talking to them. That's just it.
Yeah. Well, I think the Zoras count. The magic bat counts for that.
Yeah. Okay. Magic bat. Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I could have gone with
Sahasrara.
a lot of stuff. If I had the mitts after the swamp, maybe I would have still did swamp. I don't know. I was thinking swamp has to have something. Swamp has always something if I'm not dipping it. So I'm gonna dip it now, and obviously it didn't have anything.
Well, when they give you the flippers in the mirror in Hype Cave right next to Swamp House, you get really tempted to go in there. I definitely don't blame you.
But I would have dipped ice after it if I have the mitts. That's the point. I would have had the bow. I would have had the ice rod, because I would have brought it all together, right there. Gonna go there. Gonna go ice. And if there's nothing in ice, I can directly go to pod. If there's nothing there, I can go eastern. Could have done all the good stuff together, and then Zora and catfish and stuff. So I don't know. I feel like I could have been 20-30 minutes faster than I did.
It was definitely as open as the seed was with all of the stuff you got at the start. It was definitely still pretty straightforward because anything that felt like you weren't given to, or that anything that you weren't given was like hinted at or still in the way. Like the bow had a hint, and then the ice rod was in a crystal dungeon, so it didn't really seem that bad.
Yeah. I mean, seeing Andy 108. I mean, having Andy in your qualifier race is an instant time loss, I guess. I mean, you will always have names, big names, a lot of big names, which could all be first place in your race in these qualifiers. But I was so happy when I found the hook shot, actually pretty late, although it was in the where is it? The start somewhere. Was it the cathedral? I think so. Yeah, sanctuary. Right. And then I saw the pen and swarm. I was like, whew, good thing the sanctuary was so nice to us. I was already in the Monka S mode.
Well, with good reason. We've seen some. We've seen what happens, right? Whenever a hook shot is anywhere, and then you end up not needing it. If you
Yeah.
can do that, however, we've definitely seen that a couple times in some pretty major races.
So it seems nobody found the boots, right?
Not
Not that we know.
I bet boots were at a bad location. Probably the boots hint was like Dark World Ice Rod Cave somewhere there in the area. That's what I guess.
They could have been deeper in GT for all we know, but
So did someone did desert?
We saw some desert dips. I don't know if we found both items there, but no one actually fought Land Mollusk, so if they had an item, we don't know.
So I guess it wasn't at all a boots lock. If you
there was a small key on the torch, as I recall.
Right, so it can't be on Ramolas at least.
Yeah, that.
So it's probably GT, because I did everything else, kinda. Oh, Graveyard Ledge. I had that open, so.
I want to say we saw a Graveyard Ledge. Oh gosh, Seto took a hug from Ganon there. That is not something you want to do.
Not
Pyramid
again.
Fairy. Pyramid Fairy could be also, but something else.
I can't imagine anyone checked Pyramid Fairy.
No, me neither.
Yeah, let me just, I'm gonna go. I just finished TR, that was my last dungeon, but I got a good feeling.
Well, that happened. Things happen sometimes.
Unfortunately. Didn't even see a hint for it either. We did get some really great hints. And Seto is taking down Ganon. As Ganon explodes, Fanfare plays, the crowd goes wild.
So thank you for commentating, guys, and for restreaming, for tracking all the good stuff. Thanks, chat, for being here. That was awesome for you.
Oh, yeah, and congratulations and good luck on your future races.
Yeah, thanks. See ya.
Have a good day.
Right, and Seto does finish, be our last racer on the restream to finish. Has finished in 52nd place. They won 54-28 out of our 65 racers today. I'm not sure if they will be hopping in for us to talk to them, but yeah, seems like a pretty amazing seed there. That top time being what it was, a ridiculous 109. You don't see that too often.
Do not see that very often, though. The seed definitely lent itself well to it, I should say. Lots of good items were sitting right next to each other the entire duration of the seed.
Yeah, it really was. It's it's so good. Like you go to Thieves Town because it's a typical early check, right? And you get the hint about where the bow is. And then I don't know, you take the blacksmith with you because that's a friendly NPC, right? You take out of Thieves Town.
Apparently.
Well, if you have the mitts. You would have the mitts by then. Yeah, you'd have the mitts by then. So you'd grab the blacksmith with you as you're leaving Thieves Town to go down to the south area. Oh, well, there's the mirror and the flippers. That's great. So maybe go up and check Catfish and Zora then. And then you go turn to the blacksmith to find the bow. And then Crystal Dungeons. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That was the sequence. It was... I don't want to say free, because... I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have messed it up somewhere.
It was very straightforward. Yes, I will say that. I still can't believe Istar was in his palace. I still can't believe there were 2 swords in Palace of Darkness.
I knew it, dude. I just knew it.
Good. Dwarven swordsmith. No, that's not right at all.
It was definitely not a sword. I mean, I suppose you could shoot swords with a bow, right? I'm sure that's something that's possible.
I guess it would be very difficult, and they probably wouldn't go very far, but
No, likely not. Well, I'm not sure if... Yeah, we haven't quite received a response from Seto yet, so I don't know if we want to hang around and just chat about nonsense, or if we want to go ahead and sign off.
I don't know. But yeah, this was, as you said, a pretty interesting, sort of free-ish, not really free. You can't really call it that, I guess, but seed overall. It was a very interesting qualifier.
Yeah, I'm pretty interested in seeing. I mean, everyone wants to see what the top racer did, right? To see, man, what could I have done different? But I don't think there was going to be too much variance there, because all the firepower you needed was on the way, all the items were on the way, and it was just a really nice seed.
It's very nice, actually. 0 bonks for everybody, too. Can you believe that?
I can't believe it, dude. That's crazy. All right, I think we're gonna go ahead and sign off here. Well, thank you all for watching. our restream and not any of the others. Unless you were also watching the others, that's fine too.
That's fine too. As long as we were there with you. But yeah, it's a pleasure as always, Mikon, to get to commentate these with you.
Yeah, thanks.
We should do shout outs before I forget.
Yo, I always forget to shout out the trackers like every single time. So thank you, Red Armor and Slowpoke, for tracking today. I forget that every single time.
Yes. And if you guys want more of this hot rando action, then be sure to follow all the speed gaming channels. Be sure to follow ALTTPR Randomizer and all of its associated channels, because that's where we do these things.
Yeah, and stay tuned to the tournament. We still have more than half of the races left to go. I think this was number 6 out of 15.
Yeah,
So yeah, as far as I know, every single race is already like has the minimum number of entrants it needs to, actually go on. So yeah, there's still going to be all those races to look forward to, and I can only imagine we'll get multiple restreams for probably most of them.
we can get 3 for this one. I'm sure something might happen. Maybe.
Yes, look forward to something, everyone.
Maybe. But yes, thank you all for joining us.
Yep, good night.